Hello there, everybody. This is Ash McClure ASMR, coming at you with the Promised Game Room Tour. I do these sort of yearly on my variety channel, but I've never actually done one on this channel. So, for those of you that are curious, there's 1,314 games in this room. So you can see, that's the big wall behind me. There's another wall over there. And I decided to do this mainly because, I talk a lot about these games. I talk a lot about this collection. I do a lot of unboxings, but I've never actually shown you the room. So I'd like to show you it. Well, without further ado, I'm going to start over on that wall because the big wall is the one that you should. We'll do the big wall last. Is what I'm trying to say. All right. Well, let's start over there. So starting with where I keep my consoles. If you watched my variety channel video, you would know that I had a TV against this wall here. But actually I changed that. I now have a projector set up in this room. That I'll show you the projector then. But I keep the consoles there and I run an HDMI extender to the projector. But anyways, so we can angle that up a little bit more. There we go, that's good. So next to it, right there, is unfortunately a mess. It's where I keep extra cables and things, and that Amazon bag of sleeves and a cardboard box protectors for games, and just several things in that Amazon bag. But that corner is kind of a mess. This is a little bit less of a mess, except for the bottom shelf. So you can see right there, I have the Retron 5. That plays NES, SNES, Famicom, Super Famicom, Genesis, Mega Drive, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. All through an HDMI port. Seriously, one of the best purchases I've ever made. Right there is my Nintendo Switch OLED. Behind that is the Wii U gamepad, and both of those are on top of the Wii U. There's the PS5, obviously. Down there is the GameCube with the Game Boy player. There are my extra Joy-Cons, and there, that's actually not plugged in, is my Xbox 360 Slim. So we'll talk about this arrangement of boxes and different peripherals next. So I don't really like this room that I'm in because the ceilings are a lot lower than what I'm usually used to, which means this shelf here is actually the only one I can put boxes on top of, and it makes for a little bit less space, unfortunately. But I work with what I've got. So, as you can see here, these two are the Game & Watch, new line of Game & Watch boxes. These Mario Bros. And Legend of Zelda one. They're not actually in there, those are just the boxes for them. Behind that is the Switch OLED box. That's actually for the black dock, not the white one. I bought the white one second hand because I got the black one, and then I'm like, yeah, I kind of want the white dock. So I went with that. This is the original Switch box. In front of that, there are 3 imports. So this is is Phantasy Star 3 on the Japanese Mega Drive. Dragon Quest 4, which is Dragon Warrior 4 in the States. Funnily enough, Dragon Quest 4 on the Famicom is pretty cheap, but Dragon Warrior 4 in the States is outrageously expensive. And behind that, I'm trying to knock that over. Behind it is a Famicom game that I don't remember the name of. By Hudson Soft. If anyone's curious, there's the code that you can look up what game it is. Just type that into Google, it'll come up. I think it begins with an H. That's all I remember. I have it in the inventory app, so I can look. But here's the N64 transfer pack, as well as the N64 microphone thing for Hey You Pikachu. Bad game, by the way. There's my only Switch Joy-Cons I bought and separately. There's the Switch Pro controller, that dock, for my extra Joy-Cons, as well as a Switch power adapter. I really like how uniform all the Switch boxes are. I think it's really neat. And then right below that is actually the start of my Xbox 360 games. I think I'd have Nintendo games underneath where most of the Nintendo boxes are, except for the Phantasy Star 3. But no, I don't. There's 360 games under there. Some standouts are Fable Anniversary, Skyrim. Obviously, you're going to see a lot of Skyrim in this room. Fable Anniversary is a personal favorite of mine, and it has this beautiful slipcover on it. I kept seeing listings for this game for pretty cheap, but I said I have to have that slipcover, so I ended up paying more for it and waiting longer. Fable 2 and 3 are good too. The Harry Potter games are interesting. Just typical adventure games. There's Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows Part 1, missing Part 2. That brings me to another point I'd like to make about this room. Everything's in alphabetical order, with the exception of things that are in a series. Obviously, Order of the Phoenix came before Half-Blood Prince in movie order, but Half-Blood Prince goes before Order of the Phoenix alphabetically. So I just put them in movie order. It just makes more sense that way. Who remembers these? So these were included in bundles, Xbox 360 bundles. It has a couple Xbox ones too, but this is Marvel Ultimate Alliance on that side, and Forza Motorsport 2 on that side. It's like a double case thing. If it'll focus, please focus. Yeah, whatever. You get it. And they're actually both manuals in there as well as both discs. Really interesting that they used to do that. I hate that they don't do that anymore. That was really cool. Actually, they don't include physical games with bundles anymore, unfortunately. I have most of the Halo games. I think the only one I'm missing, correct me if I'm wrong, is 3 ODST. I have got 3, 4 Combat Evolved Anniversary with the beautiful slipcover, Reach, my personal favorite Halo game, and Wars. Wars was actually pretty good. Forza Horizon is the only racing game I enjoy, believe it or not. Why is there a piece of carpet in the game? A piece of my carpet made its way in there for some reason. That was very strange. I only have the first game, and I have the fourth one on Xbox One physically, but that's the only one I have on 360. So the next shelf down is the end of my Xbox 360 games, as well as the start of my original Xbox games. For the last of the 360 games, some standouts are, I wanted to get Skate 3, and I kept seeing it at my local thrift store. Unfortunately, it was the Platinum Hits version. I just refused to get it. I flat out refused. So I finally found the original copy. I really hate Platinum Hits on the Xbox 360, especially. Original Xbox is not a huge deal to me. We're going to see several in here. I'd like the original copy at some point, but Xbox 360 is especially ugly. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland is my favorite Tony Hawk game, by the way. That's pretty much it for standouts. I mean, there's Tomb Raider, obviously. Saints Row, I'm not really a huge fan of. Let's talk about a little bit about Xbox games. So, my favorite original Xbox game is Fable. God, I love the Fable series. If you want to talk Valve, which I missed it up there, but Left 4 Dead 2 is up there for the 360. Half-Life 2 and Counter-Strike. This is, from what I hear, is not a very good game. And Half-Life 2 is Half-Life 2. I mean, oddly enough, Half-Life 2 is on the original Xbox, but Half-Life 1 is on PS2. Very strange how they did that. Atari Anthology. I don't really like classic Atari compilations, just because you really got to have that controller with the joystick and everything. You really got to have that to enjoy Atari. However, I heard in the new one, the 50th anniversary or whatever, was actually pretty good. So I actually want to pick that up at some point in my life. Here you can see I unboxed this. Not recently, but you can see the Platinum Hits casing. I did get a Platinum Hits case for this one. I think this one was in a DVD case, this artwork. So I managed to track down a Platinum Hits case for it, so it matches. But yeah, I'm just not big on those. But the budget releases they're just all terrible. Something interesting to note is this Blitz League football game is rated M for mature. I just thought that was kind of funny. You don't usually think that a football game would be rated M for mature, but apparently there's a lot of like in-depth injuries that go in-depth on like viewing them. That's why Critical Skies is actually a good Xbox game. Oddly enough, the Xbox is one of my biggest collections. I believe it's my third biggest, and I don't have an Xbox. I don't have an original Xbox, so I mean to get one at some point. I just don't have one right now. So this is the next shelf down. Some standouts here are Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2. Need for Speed, I think some of the older ones are okay. Like I said, Forza Horizon is really the only racing game I like, because it's open world and everything. But some of the older Need for Speeds are pretty good. Here's another one of these double disc cases. And oddly enough, this is NCAA Football 05 and Top Spin. And I think this one, yeah, weirdly enough, this one's printed on the same disc, which is kind of actually neat. I had a couple more of those ones like were printed on the same disc and everything. Namco Museum, I like some of the old Namco museums. Oddly enough, Phantom Dust is getting really expensive. I don't know what the deal is. If somebody has played this game, let me know what the deal is with this game. Because honestly, I don't know why this one has skyrocketed recently. Prince of Persia's Sands of Time, I heard is pretty good. Actually, I haven't played any Prince of Persia games. Lord of the Rings, I heard here was some pretty okay movie adaptations there. Yeah, that's it for this shelf. So the second to last shelf is actually a little bit more exciting, mainly because Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is here. And my cat has just approached, and I'm petting my cat. Spider-Man's actually a pretty good. Spider-Man 2, I think a lot of people really like. On the end there are my CDI games and my only awkward long box PS1 game. I didn't really have a good place to put those, so they went there. And on the very bottom, I'm not even going to bother readjusting the tripod for it. You can see my cat, hopefully. She will come in frame. I don't think she's going to, though. But you can see my PS2 steering wheel, the Logitech NetPlay controller for PS2, as well as the Rock Band 3 piano controller. I suck at those rhythm games, by the way, like Guitar Hero and stuff. I'm absolutely like hog shit at them. Pardon my French. I'm so bad. I'm really, really terrible at those. If you want a closer look at this is really neat. This is another Goodwill purchase. I think the cables are cut underneath the steering wheel. But yeah, they have one of these for GameCube, but it was not made by Logitech. And the GameCube one is wildly expensive. There's a PS2 one, it's a lot cheaper. But yeah, it's just it's a PS2 controller with a keyboard on it. And you're meant to hold it like this. Whose idea was this? So this top shelf is honestly probably my least favorite shelf in the whole room. Genuinely, I hate it, mainly because of this PS4 box. I did not have a good place to put this. This is the best I could do, and I hate it. It's really terrible there. Because it doesn't fit. If you put it in the corner, it'll just fall off. I've tried it, trust me. But this is mostly just PlayStation stuff. Except for these two Japanese Pokemon TCG booster boxes. Obviously the PS5 box with Horizon Forbidden West download code. Ugh. my PS4 box that I actually bought, not with my PS4. I wanted that. I did want that though. This is an interesting one. This is the PlayStation Wonder Book. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this was only used as Book of Spells. The PS3 game with the PlayStation Move controller. I think. I could be completely wrong about that. But I think that was the only one they used it. PSP. I don't know what model this is actually. Oh, it's the 1001 model. It still works. I need to get more into PSP, and this is the one I definitely need to get more into. The Vita. This is not the there I am. This is not the OLED. The original model. This is the one they released after. Unfortunately, I would love to have the OLED one, but that's the one I have. And over here is a broken PlayStation Watch. But this is really cool. So this is actually, come on. This is the Sony Blu-ray PlayStation 3 Blu-ray remote. You can see it even has the X, square, circle, and triangle, so it's the PlayStation button. Really neat. I bought this off of eBay. The guy said it was working. Guess what wasn't working? This. It's dead. Still really cool to own that. So oddly enough, coming down to the next shelf is my start of my NES collection. I know I've got Nintendo boxes on top of Xbox collection. I've got PlayStation boxes on top of the Nintendo collection. Weird how that works. But it's the best I could do. Some standouts. Dr. Mario is good. Dragon Warrior, I have that completed box. Any you see with these black sleeves, if you can even see it. Actually, I also have the manual. I like to keep the manual with the game if I don't have the box for it. So when I get the box for it, I can just take the manual and have a completed box. Sorry for my cats. But Dragon Warrior, I have that completed box, and you notice it doesn't have the manual. I keep the game separate from the boxes just because it's kind of a hassle to get into the box protector to actually get it out. Get the game out, I mean. So I just keep them separate, and obviously Dragon Warrior's completed box. Actually, my only other completed box NES game is Tetris. But Dragon Warrior, so that doesn't have the manual with it because the manual's in the box. Some standouts. Battletoads, I actually have the manual for that. Battletoads, God, this is a difficult game. Talking about it just makes my blood boil. Castlevania 2, I don't have Castlevania 3, unfortunately. Kirby's Adventure, I also have the manual for. I really want to get the box for this one, but the box is wildly expensive. Yeah, I love Kirby. Kirby's Adventure. I played that a lot on Wii Virtual Console back in the day. Kirby's Adventure. Really enjoyed it there. And that's pretty much it. Just kind of a lot of sports titles, a lot of commons up here. Little Mermaid. The one that's Jalico. If you don't know, it's Bases Loaded. I don't know why they did this, so it's Jalico on the end label, so I put it with the J games. But that's just Bases Loaded 1. And then going forward, they put Bases Loaded 2 and 3 on the end label. So very, very strange. I don't have Bases Loaded 4. Bases Loaded 4 is actually kind of uncommon. Coming to the next shelf are a lot more exciting titles. Super Mario Brothers, Mario 2, Mario 3, and Mario Duck Hunt. I have all 4 of them, including the Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, and World Class Track Meet. Whoops, sorry about that. Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. I don't have 3, Manhattan Project. Unfortunately, here's Tetris. Again, do not have that. I do have that box. A lot more manuals here, and you can actually see the ones the black. So I've got somewhere with this Duck Hunt manual, which this one actually is included with the NES action set. So I just kind of keep that in there. Even though that one never came in a box. I do have the Mario 3 manual though. Over here. Probably one of my most uncommon NES games is Mario is Missing. And this game is interesting because it was actually the first game that had Luigi as the main character. It's an educational game. Really interesting stuff. I have Mega Man 2, 3, and 6. I don't have 1, 4, and 5, and of course those are the most expensive ones. Unfortunately, I have Super C. I don't have the original Contra. I do have Super C though. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the shelf. So this shelf here is the end of my NES games, as well as the start of my Super Nintendo collection. I'm gonna cast a big shadow over it right now. So I've got Zelda and Zelda 2. I kind of cap off the collections with those, mainly because they're the gold cards. It kind of makes sense. These are my 10 games. I keep those at the end of the collection so it doesn't mix up with the standard gray NES cards. So here's the start of my Super Nintendo collection. ActRaiser 2 is getting pretty expensive. I have Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. Battletoads and Battlemaniacs. Disney's Aladdin was a recent purchase. F-Zero. You all know my opinion on F-Zero 99. I think it sucks. Sorry. If you like that game, more power to you, but I don't. Minty Legend of Zelda cartridge. I'm trying not to get the shadow in there so you can see how mint it is. I mean, that's beautiful. Actually, this is my only complete in box SNES game. Is Link to the Past. And for those of you that don't know, Link to the Past, the cartridge itself is pretty expensive. So imagine the complete in box. It's getting up there. Really, that's it. Mortal Kombat 3 is a rough label, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't think there's really anything else exciting to talk about on this shelf. So, here's the end of my Super Nintendo games, capping off with the Super Game Boy. As you can see, this was like $5 at a flea market. That's actually a bargain. And of course, the start of my Super Famicom games. And unfortunately, the Super Famicom games don't have end labels. I've got some good ones in there though. See if I can. This is Yoshi's Island. I'm trying to see if I can find. Here it is. So this is Mega Man X3, but you can see it's actually called Rockman X3 because Mega Man was called Rockman in Japan. Really need to have this. It's not nearly as expensive as Mega Man X3 in the States. I mean, oh my god. X3 is so expensive. But yeah. I guess I should talk a little bit more about some of the games here. I've got Super Mario Kart, Mario All-Stars. Is that? I'm sorry, I messed up the alphabetical order. I had these off the shelf earlier. This one goes here. There we go. I just noticed that now. Mario All-Stars, Mario Kart, Mario World. But the big standout one on this shelf is Wolfenstein 3D. It's pretty uncommon. Though I have a lot of good games on here. Yoshi's Island, I've got Yoshi's Island. Most of the Mario games. So yeah, we'll go to the bottom. So here we are at the bottom of the shelf. I don't exactly know why we're having trouble focusing. But this is my my N64 games, as well as the end of my Super Famicom games. Does anybody know why Derby Stallion 96 in Japan has a Game Boy slot? Because genuinely, I don't know. Anyways, my N64 games are a lot more exciting than that. I've got Majora's Mask, I've got Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye. I've got actually 4 out of the 5 Pokemon games. I have Hey You Pikachu, unfortunately. Puzzle League, Snap, Pokemon Stadium. The only one I'm missing is Stadium 2, which of course is the most expensive. I have Mario 64, Wave Race. I've got Mario Kart 64. So this cartridge has a bunch of issues. Some trouble playing the game sometimes. I put these not a reproduction, but I think I got them off eBay actually, but they're just printed out end labels because N64 games did not have end labels originally. So I like to have end labels on them. Sue me. So this is the handheld section of the room. And this is going to be, the shadow is going to be real bad here, and I apologize for that. But this stand here is actually like a makeup stand. I just really liked it for my Game Boy games. I mean, look at it. I mean, it looks amazing. A lot of people actually in my variety channel videos have complimented this. I mean, this is a great system for it. They're not in any particular order, not in alphabetical order or anything. Just kind of throw them up there to display them. So, some standouts. They are Crystal, Red and Blue, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire, all the good ones. 2 NES Classic Series games. I've got Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link and Bomberman. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. It's a good one. But if we talk more about the actual handhelds, see if we can zoom in a little bit on that. Talk a little bit about the actual handhelds. There's my stack of DSs and my new 3DS XL. 2 Game Boy Advance SPs. I've talked in depth about these in my How Many Consoles Does Azure Own video. So if you want to know a little bit more about the consoles, you can check that video out. But yeah, there's those. And wow, the shadow is awful here. I'm so sorry for that. If you can see it, there's Chrono Cross. That was a Goodwill purchase, believe it or not. It was like $4. Final Fantasy 7 and 8. That 7 is actually the misprint of 7. So that was a good one. Some really good PlayStation games here. I've got Gex. Shout out Scott the Woz. Pointing a little bit more down there, you can actually see the start of my DS games. If I can get you a little bit closer to that. There you go. Hey, wait. I zoomed in? I am zoomed in. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. There you go. You see my only 4 Dreamcast games, my only TurboGrafx game, my only Super CD game, as well as the start of my DS games. There's a lot more exciting DS games here. 2 Zelda games. Love those. Actually, those Spirit Tracks is actually the only original, the only Zelda game I've actually 100% completed, believe it or not. And that's embarrassing to admit, considering how much of a Zelda fan I am. Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story I have a history with. It's actually the first Mario game I ever played, and this is actually my original copy. Mario Kart DS is probably my favorite Mario Kart game. Super Mario Brothers, also good. Got some of the Pokemon games, not all of them. They're all wildly expensive, especially Hard Gold, Soul Silver. I'm lucky to have those too. And white version 2 and black version 2 are insane. I have only white version 2 though. Starting with 3DS games, as you can see. Zoom in a little bit on those. The shadow is awful. I'm so sorry. I have all of the Zelda games on the 3DS. My personal favorite probably was Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds was amazing. Gotta go back and replay that. And the start of the Pokemon games, obviously. So there's the end of the 3DS games. My only 4 N-Gage games, of course. I couldn't resist. I have one of the most rare and sought after N-Gage games because I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan, so I had to get Elder Scrolls Travel Shadow Key. My PSP games and my PS Vita games, as well as some random memory cards and things down there. On the bottom is my PlayStation VR box, and kind of just a mess in that corner. I've random collection, like collector's editions, disc only stuff, UMD videos, just kind of a mess over there. I'm not even gonna bother going through it. So here's my projector setup. That game over light is actually there so people can see when they go up the stairs, because the bathroom is actually up here. And I've got controller boxes, controller drawers to over all my controllers. And I'd like to do something about the HDMI extender that just runs across the floor. But I didn't. You see my really left pillow there. that was a bit of a Christmas, not a bit of a Christmas present, and I thought it was really funny. So this is actually going to be an extremely difficult shot to get, because there's stuff tucked away back there, and I actually can't get to it with the tripod sitting here. But what's tucked back there is my Game Boy Player startup disc, Korean import Armored Core Formula front on the PSP, and a couple different advertisement pamphlets. There's an Xbox One controller box, the big box for Mario Party 7, as well as some of my boxed Wii U stuff. There's Wii Sports, Link's Crossbow Training. It's actually my original copy of Wii Sports, by the way. My only amiibo that I ever own. Probably will ever own. I'm not really big into amiibo. I don't know why. GC HD Mark II. That is an amazing thing to have. Unfortunately, it's a little expensive now. A Game Boy Color promotional yo-yo, and my Wii box. So I think we'll talk about these two shelves together, just because they're kind of in the same shot. That's my my physical Switch collection. There's one more tucked behind that Xbox One case. You can see there's a bit of a gap there. That's the one back there, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. There's my Xbox One games, my physical PS5, and my start of my PS4 games. This is the Danganronpa trilogy that Amazon sent me the European copy to. So thank you, Amazon. I appreciate that. I didn't want the European copy. I wanted the NTSC version. At least the spine isn't changed. Like if it was a European or a PAL, if it was a PAL Switch game, the whole spine's different and everything. It's just, but yeah. A couple of standouts. I can barely see the Switch game, so I'm not even going to talk about standouts out there. All of them are standouts except for Husband Heroes. I hate that game. I don't even know why I own it. A couple of standouts. I did play through Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion finally. I really enjoyed it, actually. I played through it pretty much in 2 days. It was kind of really good. One standout is a Dark Pictures Anthology series. So I'm not. This means a lot coming from me. That was The Devil in Me. That's the newest one. I've got these three here. So that's the first one, Madame Madame, then Little Hope, then House of Ashes. This means a lot coming from me. I love this series, and I hate horror games, but I really like the Dark Pictures Anthology series. I don't know why. They're pretty basic, like this killer, and you gotta escape everyone. Pretty basic stuff like that. But I love the fact that they're multiplayer too. It really kind of adds to it, honestly. So here's the last bit of my PS4 games, and the start of my PS3 games. Until Dawn is actually made by, it was the first game. I don't know if it was the first game by Supermassive, but I know it was made by the same people that made the Dark Pictures Anthology. And this one came before that, and I really like Until Dawn, so I think I just kind of knew going in I was gonna like Dark Pictures Anthology. Persona series, classics. That's actually the steelbook for the original, and I've got Persona 5 Royal there. Honestly, not too many more standouts. I mean, Marvel Spider-Man, everyone loves that game. I actually haven't played it yet. There's The Witcher 3 that I am going to give another try, because somebody, when I did my games people love that I don't like, seriously said you gotta give it a shot again. So I'm gonna listen to that person, whoever you are. You know who you are. I don't remember the username, but I did read that, and I am gonna give it another try at some point. So start of my PS3 games. My giant head's in the way. What's there? Some of the Call of Duty games, BioShock. Yeah. Not really anything that stands out there. Some of the Battlefields are good. Batman games, Assassin's Creed, not big on Assassin's Creed. Once again, this is a difficult shot to get, because my couch is in the way. But there's the end of the Call of Duty games, going to the Devil May Cry games I unboxed, Grand Theft Auto, Skyrim's over there somewhere. You still see a lot of Skyrim in this room. And actually the start of my PS2 games. One thing to note is, can Namco please stop naming their series Tales of something? Please. Dear God, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, there's Tales of Graces F, Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, Tales of Xillia 2, Tales of Legend Diaz. It's on the PS2. I've got that down there. Is that is they all part of the same series? I actually don't know. But like, chill out, Namco, please, I'm begging you. So this is actually going to be the most difficult shelf to get any footage of. I'm so sorry that this footage is poor, but there's the not the rest of my PS2 games, but the next shelf of them. Some standouts are the Grand Theft Auto series, some of the Final Fantasies. Kingdom Hearts is around the corner there. Yeah, I mean, there's just good games on the PS2. I really like the PS2. So this is actually still not the last shelf in the PS2 games. This is actually the lowest the tripod goes, so it's gonna be really hard to get that bottom shelf. But some standouts here: Resident Evil 4. That Pirates game is actually sealed. Pet Dogs 2 is probably one of my favorite games on the PS2. Please don't judge me. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, I'll try to get the bottom shelf. It's gonna be difficult though. Oh, that's awful shot. Okay. So down there are the SpongeBob games. So again, some of my favorites on that platform. Twisted Metal games, right there. I'm at Twisted Metal Black and Twisted Metal Head-On Extra Twisted Edition. Actually, Extra Twisted Edition, that's getting really expensive. The Twisted Metal Head-On, that's actually a port of a PSP game. It's getting kind of pricey. There's that Tales of Legendia game I was talking about. Right somewhere in there. Having trouble pointing today. But there's the start of my GameCube games. Animal Crossing. They're the only standout there, unfortunately. Actually, fortunately, because that means the rest of them are going to be on a different shelf. So before we get to the rest of the GameCube games, there's two of my Wii U boxes. I actually unboxed that Mario Kart 8 box very, not recently at all, actually. Some energy drink cans and things with a beer can. I don't drink beer. That was just my mom, I think, drank it and thought it was kind of funny. That's NES. It says NES Pie. There's a Retro Pie in there. It has that game loader on. I can't remember the name of it. G Fuel energy drink cans. That sucked. That was pretty okay actually, even though it's cherry. I don't even like cherry. Is that no? It's peach. That one's cherry. That sucked. Peach. I didn't like peach that much. It was pretty good. A couple deck boxes for Pokemon. This one I got when I went to North American Internationals. Yeah. Let's get to the rest of the GameCube games. Look how much easier it is to display these now. Standouts here. I mean, this is my #1 collection. I really like liking for the GameCube. Standouts: Eternal Darkness, of course. Two of the Zelda games, the Zelda Collector's Edition, and the Wind Waker. Love, you guys know me, I love the Wind Waker. Luigi's Mansion is a standout. Harvest Moon. I think this is It's a Wonderful Life. Oh, sorry, that's the movie. Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life is the name of the game. That's that movie with James Stewart. Anyways, the popular Christmas movie. And this is Harvest Moon: Another Wonderful Life. Mario games, Mario Golf, Mario Kart, Mario Party 6, there's Mario Party 7 that goes with the big box, and Mario Power Tennis. I used to have 4 and I used to have 5, and I sold both of them. I don't exactly know why. Actually, I had those at different times. So I had 4, 6, and 7 at one point, and then I sold 4. And then I got 5, and I had 5, 6, and 7, and then I sold 5. I'm weird like that, I guess. So, next shelf down for the GameCube games. A lot more standouts here. Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, Pokemon Coliseum. I used to have XD. Unfortunately, I sold XD, and I really regret that. Pikmin. Don't have Pikmin 2. The start of the Sonic games. 2 of the Resident Evil games, Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 0. Let's see, Metroid Prime. I used to have Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. I sold it. I'm sorry for my cat. He will not shut up. And yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog is a really bad game. Mega Man Collections, Anniversary Collection, and X Collection is getting pretty expensive. So here is the the end of my GameCube games and the start of my Wii games. Some standouts on GameCube here are Mario Strikers, Mario Sunshine, Monkey Ball 2. I don't have Monkey Ball 1. Smash Melee is obviously a given. Beautiful Joe is actually pretty fun, and Ultimate Spider-Man is for some reason getting really expensive. Don't know what's up with that. And the start of my Wii games, for some reason, I don't know why, I've got this thing. I'm only missing one Call of Duty on the Wii, and I really want to get it. I just have a thing for like the Call of Duties on Wii. I don't know what it is. Same with the DS. I only have one on the DS. I don't know what it is about them. They're funny to me. And Big Brain Academy Wii Degrees, neat. A neat little game. So right here is actually the end of my Wii games, as well as the start of my Wii U collection. Some standouts here are Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess, Zelda, of course, Mario Kart Wii. Mario Party 8 is great. Mario Party 9 is absolutely terrible. Mario Sports Mix is actually one of my favorites, believe it or not. Just such an odd release. It's actually developed by Square Enix. You can actually play as like some Final Fantasy characters. And some Mario Brothers Wii, obviously. Mario Galaxy. I don't know Mario Galaxy 2. I've got to get that. The Wii series is always good. Wii Party, not a big fan of that. Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort classics. Start of the Wii U games. Nothing crazy there. Bayonetta 2 with Bayonetta 1 included is good. And Disney Infinity was obviously a flop. There's the rest of my Wii U games. Some standouts. Breath of the Wild, which is oddly enough releases kind of like a throw Wii U users a bone. Because they were promised that on the Wii U, and it coincided with the Switch release. Twilight Princess HD, Wind Waker HD, great games. Really big fan of Wind Waker HD. Xenoblade Chronicles X is getting pretty expensive. Wii Party U. Mario games. Mario Maker, rest in peace. There's some good stuff here. I've got some good stuff on the Wii U. It's pretty easy to collect for as well. I have many games in the library. Actually, right there at the bottom is my Genesis collection. Because I didn't exactly have anywhere else to put it. That's Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 2. Pretty much this is my only standout titles on Genesis. So here's actually the majority of my larger boxes. You can see the Texas Instruments home computer that I unboxed in my last unboxing video. Just kind of put right there. At the top there is my original 3DS box, so I didn't have a good place to put it. New 3DS box. My Wii U, my last Wii U box, which is actually the Wii U I got originally. And my GameCube box. You can see that is actually the one that came with Zelda Collector's Edition. And then these are my three limited edition DSIs. Or DSs. One's a DSi, two are DS Lites. I unboxed that one. These two I got for a steal. Although that one has issues. Actually, it doesn't work at all. Point one white one works all the way though. And those are the two Game & Watches from the beginning of the video. The Mario and the Zelda. So here are the boxes I was talking about. You can see we got Dragon Warrior and Tetris. Zelda Link to the Past, and I forgot to mention I have a Perfect Dark complete box. And this box is pretty minty. Some box 2600 stuff. Actually, it's mispacked. It's a 7800 game. Yes, I collect for Atari. Might be one of the last few people that do. And television as well. My big box Switch stuff. 2 Wii U controller boxes. PlayStation 9 ground. Subscription magazine thing. And a Game Genie for Super Nintendo. So here's the start of my 2600 collection. Honestly, there aren't really any standouts. I like Pitfall a lot, but really 2600 games are 2600 games. There's not really much going on in them. Adventure is considered one of the best. I don't understand that at all. So here we have the last of my 2600 games. This is a bootleg, I think, of 2600 game. It's called Multi Games. It's got switches on it. It's honestly the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. My Odyssey 2 collection. That right there on top is a Tiger. Is that even in frame? No. This is a Tiger handheld. That's a Coleco talking teacher, or a competitor to Speak and Spell. And those are my Atari 400 games. And then the very bottom is my Atari 2600 box, pretty minty too. And right behind that is a Magnavox Odyssey 300, which is a Pong clone that is not in mint condition at all. And if you want to talk a little bit about this, on this table is, I'm just going to pick up the tripod, my variants. And these are variants of games that are on the shelf already. My sleeves for Nintendo games, my Switch stuff, headset, and those the egg boxes from my console videos, as well as some excess that couldn't fit in the egg boxes. That is it. Really hope you enjoyed the super long video. That's it. That's my game room. I didn't go over some of the artwork on the walls and some of the carrying cases. I didn't really feel the need to. I had to get some artwork in here since that variety channel video. But yeah, that's it. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe. It really helps out. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.